Yo, what's up guys, my name is Nick. Today I will show you my exact trading strategy that made me profitable and helped me to earn more than 300k in profits. When I was a beginner, I was watching the same videos like this and I always had that feeling that, okay, I understand this guy's strategy, but I still have some blind spot in my head, so I cannot apply it on the chart. And when I was creating this video, I understood that actually a lot of trading influencers, they just don't give you the whole picture. They trap you in some in little box to make you buy something from them. I want to give you everything I know, but before we start, I just want to make sure that you are the right person to watch this video. So actually, this video is someone who understands what is fair value gaps, liquidity, order blocks, market structure, at least basic price action, because if you don't understand these words, you will not be able to understand this whole video. So this video is not for someone who just started or who haven't bought any prop firm yet. This video is for someone who actually struggles with trading or have faced some issues. The reason because you still watch this video is that you actually want to know how to trade profitably. So if you're watching it, just watch it till the end. The reason you are still not profitable yet is because you don't understand that any market, any asset, like anything you can trade, built of two things, is price and time. You see, I put this line between those two words because they are equally important. Have you ever been in the situation like you open a trade, you get stopped out, and right after you got stopped out, price goes to your take profit? That's because those two things weren't aligned together. So we will work with both things today. Right now, let's start with the price. In my trading strategy, I use only 3 time frames. First one is daily, second one is 1 hour, and the third one is 5 or 15-minute time frame to build positions. Each time frame serves its own purpose. Daily time frame, daily candle, gives me overall direction of the market. So let's say it like this: overall direction. 1 hour time frame gives me understanding how this daily time frame looks inside. We need 1 hour to understand the trend inside daily candle, and 5 or 15 minutes time frame to confirm positions, or I use it to find any entry models. We'll talk about entry models a little bit later, the confirm models. Okay, so now let's synchronize all these things together. So let's pick an asset. Let's take NQ. Right, I will put some random date. Let's go to the random date, May 2025. Okay. Now I'll show you how I actually work with daily time frame. So right now, what do we see? We see actually that we have an upward trend. We don't have any objective close targets from the left side. I mean, we had this liquidity and we just took it. And there is a big resistance zone above built of this fair value gaps. So first, we can assume that price will not go up until it makes correction and grab some fuel. So where is fuel on the daily time frame? Where is liquidity to continue this trend? Let's say we mark this fair value gap. We can also mark this fair value gap. 1 second, I want to make work with opacity. So okay, so now we have 2 daily fair value gaps, and now we just on a daily we can just imagine how we would like to enter our long positions in here. So basically, we'd like to price to enter this fair value gap, then find some support in this fair value gap, and then continue higher, right? Right. Okay. And then we have a second scenario, that what happens if price hits this fair value gap and doesn't give us any reaction? Then we will assume that price needs to go lower to this fair value gap, or maybe even to this liquidities, right? So we have 2 scenarios. A daily time frame also helps us to build scenarios, because it's easier to trade, to leave when you have some different scenarios and when you're ready for them. So now we want to go to 1 hour time frame, and we can see we can also see this first daily fair value gap inside this 1 hour time frame. So now we can mark some liquidities on 1 hour time frame as well. We can see that we look at the 1 hour time frame, and now we need to imagine to tell us to enter longs. Why longs? Because we have a bullish trend, and we also can see it visually. In this case, we want to work with this trend. This trend is upward, so we're searching for longs. And now you remember when I was talking about daily time frame, we made the scenario like what should happen, what price should make, like what should it do, so we understand that it's no more upward trend. For example, we can make the same assuming on hourly time frame. Like we can visually understand that if price will go somewhere here, right, and it doesn't react, that then we can assume that price will go lower, at least to these targets, or even lower, right? So we also make different scenarios on hourly time frame as well, just to align everything perfectly. Remember, in the beginning of the video, I told you that like our trading is built of two things: is price and time. Now when we come into, like, now we're coming closer to open position, now this time part is very important to understand. When do we expect our, like, any of our ideas to play out? Like, when do we expect it? For NQ, now right now I backtest Nasdaq, we expect it to give us some move during New York, because during New York AM session, because this is the main session for this asset. For Euro USD, the main session is London session, so it has different time. So it's very important to understand what time your asset most likely to give you position. So right now, you can see those color lines, they represent session. This yellow or like orange or orange square represents New York session. So right now, and this blue is Asian session, green is London, and this purple is pre-London. I use pre-London marker as well because I usually trade London sessions. You need to remember that yellow is New York, right? And we want to wait until New York opens. What can we see? Let's look at the daily perspective. From the daily perspective, we grabbed some liquidity, and also we've tested this bullish daily fair value gap, right? So we assume that our New York session could give us long position because we have factors on daily time frame. Let's watch how it looks on 1 hour. So what we can see on the chart, we can see that price, from Asia to London, was falling down and grabbed some liquidity. We also took previous day low as well. It's a great factor. And what is our target? Our closest target is previous day high here, right? We have liquidity sweep on a daily. We can see that 1 hour time frame looks like it's also want to go too long. So those two parts are aligned together. 1 hour time frame doesn't look like it wants to go short. So now we go to our model part. I recommend you, like on indices, use 5 minutes or 15 minutes to confirm your entry. So I don't use some fancy entry models. You can actually use any you like. You can just use break of structure, and that's it. So what we can see, New York open. No, it's pre-New York. Let's wait until 9:30 comes. Okay, now what we can see that we have some upward narrative on 15 minutes time frame as well. We can see that we get some liquidity sweeps, and price, right now, price looks like it might give us some long entry. Let's wait for liquidities for break of structure. I want to wait it until, so I want it happen somewhere here. So if price closes above this candle, I can enter longs to this target. Okay, let's wait. So because of backtest, like, you know, actually I most likely I would enter my position, long position here. That would be enough for me to consider that structure will be break. So I'll open position like this. I'll wait for break of structure and I put my stop loss behind liquidity sweep. And we can see that in this case, we don't really have enough Rs. And I don't recommend you to put your stop loss anywhere higher than, like in this case, anywhere higher than this liquidity sweep that happened because we just could get pre-swept. Let's just try to get 2 Rs. I want to put my stop here and I want to get 2 Rs because like I think it can happen. Because I do this video in freestyle, I don't know like what will happen. I will just explain you one more thing. Like, you know, in real trading, in real life, you need to work to close, like to the closest targets, you know, and in this case previous day high was the closest one, but because of this good daily sweep that we had good, like I could assume that we will have a good expansion, and actually I think that price reversed after my 2 hours. Exactly. I think that's just luck, but anyway, you need to work to the targets, even if if it doesn't give you good RR. The thing you need to understand that your win rate is more important than your risk to reward ratio. So if price gives you 1-to-1, work with it, but don't try to put your take profit higher than your closest targets, especially on indices. I just did that because I have intuitive feeling of it, you know, but in real life, most likely price, I mean, it is real life, but in most cases, price will just reverse off previous day high. It still worked. Let's break down this trade. Let's break it down and let's understand why it worked. So let's do it one more time, guys, because like it's very important. Why did this trade actually play out? Because one more time, we had a liquidity sweep on daily time frame, and it gives us a perspective that, oh, trade might play out. You know, it has this long potential, like we have this fuel to go long. You know, what we've seen on 1 hour time frame, we've seen that we swept some liquidity on 1 hour time frame also, and this liquidity was previous day low. Previous day low is very strong liquidity level, actually. Previous day high and previous day low are very strong liquidity levels. And then on 5 minute or on 15 minute, we've seen that market actually accept this liquidity sweep. So let's imagine if we had this liquidity sweep. Let's imagine like that we don't know that this trade played out. Let's imagine that New York opens and we trade somewhere here. But in this case, like still in this case, like even if our 1 hour time frame would be somewhere like slow grinding, but on our daily we still would see this liquidity sweep. But if on 1 hour time frame we don't see some reaction, right? Like we've seen, if we wouldn't see some reaction, then I would not assume to take this trade. And also, like on 15-minute time frame, we could clearly see that after this liquidity sweep started to make more liquidity, like mini liquidity sweeps, and price started to accept this long narrative. And then New York pre-market has started, you know, and it still accept our long narrative. It makes some liquidity sweep and goes up. So then I just waited for my model to play out. That's it. Okay, guys, let's summarize what we understand right now. So first, I want to reframe this trade one more time so we can list actual points that were important in this trade. So first, we had a liquidity sweep on the daily, right? That was our point A, actually. Then we've seen a reaction. So our session before New York market open gave us some reaction. Also, we had targets. That's very important to have targets. If you don't have a target, then you don't take a trade, because target is session high or session low or previous day high, previous day low. So it should be a solid level. If you don't have any targets, for example, let's just imagine that we don't have any targets out there, right? our trade looks like this, right? And we don't have any targets. I will just make it like this, right? Imagine we don't have a targets above. We have just some fair value gaps. And we don't have some session high or session low, previous day high, previous day low, or previous week high, previous week low. We have just an imbalance or fair value gap above. We don't take this long because we don't have a target. But in this day, since we had previous day high target, also we had some mini targets like this that works as a magnet to an actual previous day high target. So it's a good sign that we have target, and most important is that it's required to have targets. It's not like very good sign. It's required to have targets. After we had liquidity sweep on a daily, after we had an exception from our previous session before New York market opened, so our London gave us some confirmation, some inversions, you see. So, and New York just opened and gave us a manipulation. So what is manipulation? You see, before New York opened at 9:30, we made a liquidity sweep that actually that helps us to understand that yes, price is okay to go up because we make liquidity sweeps on the lower liquidities. So, and then we enter our position and we put our stop loss behind this manipulation and we aim for the targets. So that's how it works. Let's write down these important points in a simple way. So we have a liquidity sweep on a higher time frame. We see it here. We have session reaction that confirms that this liquidity sweep is valid. This is second part. So we have liquidity sweep on a higher time frame, point A. We have session reaction that confirms that this liquidity sweep is valid. Nice. Then we have a liquidity sweep on in our session, in our main session. So we have this liquidity sweep on New York market open at 9:30, and also we have an entry model on 5M or 15M. Depends on how your stop loss is protected. So actually, I don't give any rules that your model should be like this or like that. You just need to understand that model, any model, inverted fair value gap, XAUUSD, whatever, is just a way to confirm your position. And you can use any of these models. I only say that, or any 5-minute model is actually like, it works absolutely amazing, like, you know. So now we have draft of our trading strategy, and also we have one more thing that I will talk about right now that actually sticks everything together, and it's called session narrative. So actually we already have part of the session narrative in our second part. It's actually session reaction that confirms that liquidity sweep is valid is very important part. Sometimes, I mean, most of the times, this thing is the most important thing. That's why I'll make a different block especially for it, session narrative. Basically, what is session narrative? Before I explain, I want you to guys remind that you remember in the beginning of this video, I told you that our whole market is based on two things, is price and time. So basically, price is liquidity sweep, visual reactions that we can see, right? Entry models, they are all related to price. And session narrative is related to time. And how it is related, I'm going to explain you right now. So I will also open another asset since I want to show you as much as I can, like as many setups as I can. Let's put some random date in here. Let's work with our checklist that we just created. So I will move on until New York. Okay, Let's open daily time frame. So as we can see on the daily time frame, price came into this resistance zone. It's an order block zone, and actually we fulfilled fair value gap over here, and we're coming into this order block zone. So this is a resistance level, and we need to understand that, you remember guys, that to work with longs, we need to have our targets. Our closest target is this liquidity. It's too far away, and logically, right now in this position, we need to understand that we already missing very important point. We don't have a target to work with. We have only fair value gaps above, and in these days, like even we can see that we have a very long narrative, right? We just skip this type of days until we create some targets for ourselves. I mean, until markets creates its own targets. Let's open daily time frame. So right now we can see that, let's just understand the story behind it. We fulfilled this fair value gap on a daily time frame. We gave some reaction, and it seems like price is retracing down. As you can see, price also covered this daily fair value gap in here, and we didn't have enough reaction actually. And right now our today's daily candle is falling, and we need to understand that our most logical targets for price to fall is this liquidity. So daily is pretty bearish, right? We have actually our point A, bearish point A over here. I'll remove this stuff. So we have our point A. Let's understand if we have good, so we want to take shorts here, right? We need to make sure that we have a bearish session narrative. And what we can see that Asia works with some liquidity over here, give us some reaction, and London works with this liquidity as well, right? We have short session narrative, we have our point A, we have our point B is the closest liquidity, and actually we have this level that can help us to exit earlier if we want. Let's wait for our New York market open, but I just want to explain you guys that for gold, New York session starts at 8 a.m. Not 9:30 a.m. New York time as for indices. So for gold is a bit different timing. We start waiting for liquidity sweeps in our New York session from 8 a.m. So let's wait for New York. Okay, and we can see that we actually took all the targets. That's okay. The most important thing that we understand why that's happened. Actually, if you like trading in London, for example, this is a perfect London short setup. Because over here, because we have point A, one more time, point A, we have session narrative that accepts shorts, and during London, we have a liquidity sweep or manipulation that helps us to open short position, and we're able to hide our stop loss behind this manipulation, right? So that's actually a good short setup during London. But okay, let's move on. It's very cool to actually backtest everything in live, because I'm not prepared to see like setups. In this case, I don't know if something gonna play out or not. So if something doesn't play out as I wanted, because I wanted this trade to play out in New York, I still can explain it from different perspective. It's very cool. And you can see how this strategy is perfect and imperfect sometimes. Let's start analyzing gold from London. What we can see that price in our previous day on the daily actually almost fulfilled this fair value gap, and today's candle is kinda like we're not sure, because it can go up and retrace to this liquidity, or we can continue go to previous week low. But so I decide in this type of days when we just swept liquidity from below, like I skip the next day because I don't have rational targets to work with, as I said, because here most probably price will go retrace into this daily fair value gap, but I'm not sure where should I exit, because it can retrace to here and then go down here or here, and I just don't know where to put my take profit. So I skip days like this. But let's just go to the next day. Let's go to the next day. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. as you can see, even in this day, session narrative told us that most likely will not gonna retrace up. You see, session narrative just made liquidity sweeps and pushed price downward. So that's okay. That's why we use session narrative to look inside what's happening. Okay, let's go to the next day. Oh my God, I just almost skipped this day because I accidentally pushed replay button forward. So what we can see this day, we can see that we've worked with previous week low liquidity. We gave us some reaction. We can see that our session narrative started to play with bottom liquidity and started to react upward. That means our session narrative right now is long. So I'd like to actually, and as you can see, New York opened, but we didn't make a liquidity sweep. We just opened and went up. But this liquidity sweep happened, like the last liquidity sweep happened during London, right before New York opened. So if I want to open longs, for example, I need to put stop loss somewhere here. And actually, in this case, let's check how many R's we have. I'm not really satisfied with this R's, and I think that I'll just. Okay, you see, even like I wasn't very satisfied, but as you can see, a session narrative played out as well, because one more time, we had a liquidity sweep, point A, we have longing session narrative, and we have targets. That's why it played out. I know that in real life, I probably wouldn't open this long position, but still, like, logic is not bad. Like, it's working. It's working everywhere on every asset. And actually, session narrative helps you look inside. How is market maker pushing the price? Because we can clearly see that this higher time frame liquidity sweep started to play out before New York open. We can see that price showed us some strength, and then we was able to open some positions because of it. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next asset, because as I said, I want to show you as much as I can. So let's look at EURUSD. Let's wait until. So main session for EURUSD is London session, but it actually works during New York session. That's totally fine. But like the best session for EURUSD is London. You cannot argue on that. So right now, what can we see? Let's go on a daily time frame. We can see that we had liquidity sweep over here. We have a long session narrative. Why is it long? You can see liquidity sweep, and price feels comfortable to go up. We can see it with our sessions. So right now, what do I need to do? I need to understand what is my targets, and actually it's this target, and it's actually very close. We will see. Maybe if London will be very strong, we can aim for this target. Anyway, let's just look how London opens. So what I want to see from London, I want to see a London open, I want to see a manipulation, and I want to see a break of structure, and I want to enter, and this is our first target. And like in this day, actually, it's hard to work toward this target because we have an hourly fair value gaps, and it's actually a very solid resistance zone for our price to go up. But still, we have this target. Let's just watch how London performs. Okay, so London, actually, I pushed the play button in TradingView, and I skipped one more setup to open it. But still, like, we can see how perfectly it played out. We had a liquidity sweep, and we actually maybe on 3-minute time frame. Maybe it was enough to enter this position, enough R's. Let's just check. Like 1-to-1, but actually we can see how it beautifully works when you wait for liquidity sweep during your session, and then you wait for some inversions or break of structures, and then you enter. So we can see how it works. It works very nice. And let's just wait what will happen. Will we go to this target? Because EURUSD actually can, but no. So we worked with this previous day high, and then London decided to go down. That's totally fine. Let's go to the next day, actually, because my only target was swept, and I just want to see what's going to happen next. Let's open daily time frame. We can still see that price price reacts, still reacts with a bullish, like with bullish intentions, but let's see what's happening here. So we had an actual, like we had one more liquidity sweep below here. We have actually long session narrative. We have liquidity sweeps. We have some reactions during Asian session, but Frankfurt session is basically pre-London, gave us a little bit sign of losing a strength, but still London opened, grabbed this liquidity Frankfurt low, and it actually shows us a sign of strength, and it gave us some inversions, break of structures. Let's just take this trade towards previous day high. We have a target over here. For me, it's actually not bad trade. Yeah. So we can see that this trade perfectly played out. I was just scrolling it to see what New York will do next. We can see that it perfectly worked. Why? Because one more time, we use session narrative. You see, like we see a narrative, what price want to do, which liquidity price sweeps along the way, and how it reacts, how it performs. And we can see that we have point A, we have confirmation with our session narrative, we have liquidity sweep or manipulation during London session, during our main session for our asset. One more time for USD is London. So we see this liquidity sweep, we have break of structure, and we have our trade played out. Actually, like it's possible to open those trades better, you know, to work with earlier inversions. Like it's not required to see a perfect break of structure. You can just work with inversions and get so much better Rs. But I explain it in the very protected way, so you can just trade it and get results immediately. But if you find a way to confirm your trades earlier, so you don't wait for some break of structures, if you just backtest some inversions or on 3-minute time frame or on 1-minute time frame, it's also works, you know. But of course, waiting until full break of structure works better. I mean, it gives you more win rate. Okay, so let's go to oil. Let's check this with oil. For oil is 9:30 to 9:50 New York time. It's the time window we should wait for our setup to play out, and we should enter around this time as well. So let's just wait until New York and let's understand what's going on. Okay, so let's go on a daily time frame. And actually, like in days like this, on a daily, we see that before our 9:30 New York open, we see that we are not like, we cannot go shorts because we can see how price reacts and respect this daily's liquidities. And like, I don't want to go shorts because of that. And I actually don't want to go longs because London, you see session narrative, London like didn't accept any longs intention, you know. Our session narrative is actually short. So like I just skip this kind of day because I don't know what's gonna happen. And as you can see, New York does nothing. It just stays and like sweeps some liquidity here, then here, and just stays in the range. Okay, that's totally fine. Let's wait for the next day. We can see that we have a liquidity sweep. We have some kind of reaction, but you can see it's actually like our candles are not showing any strength, you know? And this session narrative is actually more short than long, you know? It's kind of look like we have some strength, upward strength, but you can see how Frankfurt session worked with Asian high, then we went down. London worked with itself and showed some weakness signs. And New York, like, I don't know what to do in this day, and I just skip it. That's very easy. Let's just wait for the next day. We can see actually right now we're in kind of range, and maybe today, since we have this last liquidity sweep boom, then we have liquidity sweep boom here, and our session narrative right now is actually more into long, so I can expect price to hit this target during our New York session. So let's wait for a New York market open. Okay, New York opened. We swept some of these liquidities. I don't actually like how is this. Maybe it's some holiday day because it looks weird. Candles looks weird, but still, let's wait for break of structure somewhere over here and then try longs. Okay, it's actually went very, very, very fast. Let's just do something like this, and let's just aim for 2 hours. Let's just do something like this. I like, as I said, let's just check, will it work? Because we don't have closest targets. Actually, because it went too hard on a 5-minute time frame, it didn't give me chance to enter actually where I wanted to enter. So let's enter here, and let's just hope for 2 hours. That's my strategy for right now. Okay, so you see, even I break my own rules. When I use session narrative properly, it forgives me and it gives me a chance to earn money. You see, that's actually good, and I'm really, guys, as a trader, I wanted this video to be as smooth as it right now, because I like, before recording this video, I was thinking, yo, what if I like record this strategy thing and I will, backtest some bad month and I will get stopped out. And like, because I don't want to prepare for this video with all the perfect setups, I want to show you a reality. And I'm actually also shocked because like it works perfectly. Because I haven't backtested for some time, maybe for like, it's my first backtest actually for past 6 months. So it's actually cool to see that everything I teach, everything I know is working perfectly. Yo guys, thank you for watching this video. I know you might feel, oh, I need more data, more backtests, more everything. I understand. That's why I have a lot of strategy videos on my YouTube. I teach the same stuff, the same time and price and session narrative things. I don't switch strategies. Also, you need to join my Discord, morning calls, daily analysis, more strategy videos is out there. See you in the next one. Goodbye.